So in my previous video, I talk about people pleasing, yeah? And I mentioned how also your star sign could possibly contribute to your tendency of people pleasing. So before I get into that, I think no, not I think, I'm making a video of just me unpacking astrology so that when I start bringing content based on astrology, I've laid a foundation on the topic as a whole. So yeah, that's what I'll be talking about today. And hi, I'm Yandi. Welcome to my space. Welcome to my vibe. Yeah, man, I literally just talk about anything and everything. Mostly deconstructing, but everything and anything. And today, because I'm an astrology girly, we're gonna talk about astrology. Let's go. As you've seen, astrology has gained popularity in the last couple of years. I think mostly because it just provided a fascinating way to know yourself and to study yourself. It just became a fascinating tool for self-development and self-understanding. In psychology, there is an understanding that our environment influences our thought patterns, our behavior, our character as a whole. Not only as you are growing up, but where and how you were born is also very significant. By understanding the type of energy that was potent when you were born, you can understand the foundation of your development in this life. And in astrology, there is a framework called cosmic conditioning, which is basically the study of how the frequency of the earth can influence the alpha rhythm of the human brain, therefore suggesting that the geomagnetic field of the earth can, or the human nervous system rather, right? The human nervous system responds to the geomagnetic field of the earth. So planetary positions can directly affect the electromagnetic field of the earth and also the electromagnetic field of the solar system as a whole, right? So there is this scientist, but Glenn Bricker or Bricker or something. I'm gonna put his name on the screen if you want to check his workouts. But he expands this electromagnetic wave theory, and I'm just gonna read it for you and possibly put a diagram to kind of make you see what I'm seeing and make you see what he's saying. So what he says, this guy Uti, the planetary positions cause a gravitational field change in the sun, which causes the tidal wave effects inside the sun, which causes the solar flares from the sun, which causes the solar wind particles that hits the earth, which causes ionospheric changes above the earth, simultaneously with the gravitational pull of the moon, which influences the emotions and consciousness on the earth. So in summary, if I would summarize what he says the condition of the universe, right, directly influence the beings that are within the universe. So what I'll do now, I will try to expand this cosmic conditioning theory in a sense of seasons, right? I'll try to explain or give a foundation on how personality can be formed through seasons and kind of give you an understanding on how they can determine how an Aquarius moves or how a Capricorn moves and all of that. But before I get into it, I just want to clarify something. Number one, I'm not a scientist, or I didn't go study astrology in like a fancy school. I'm just an unemployed citizen who is into just the stars for some reason that I don't know, right? Number one. Number two, in me explaining the signs through the seasons, please do not be confused on whether you identify with the wrong star sign or not. For now, for this moment, ne? If you are into Western astrology, obviously, take the sign that you identify with as a star for now, and then take what I'll be trying to introduce to you as the season you were born in, as a sun sign, ne? Take the one you identify with as a star, and the one that I'm going to provide to you right now as a sun, ne? So that we don't have this discourse on whether you must flip your sign and all of these things that are happening here on the astrology community. We don't bring that vibe here. This is not the place for that. We start with Aries season, which kickstarts spring, and this is when things start to be renewed and are green again, right? Nature starts just being flourishing and all of that, right? So the energy principle for Aries season is renewal and germination. So people who are born with this placement most likely have the desire to initiate and to start things and to lead in a very revolutionary way. And then now we get into Taurus. This is when the spring season is starting to be potent now, and the seeds are being fertilized. So the energy principle for Taurus is conception and fertility. Therefore, the people who are born with this placement are most likely to be persistent, as the potent energy in the air, it qhumisa seeds, right? So people born in the season are very much likely to be persistent, and with the energy principle of conception, they are also most likely to be creative. Now we enter Gemini season, the last house of spring, right? This is the blossoming time of spring. This is where we see nature being versatile and vibrant, right? We are bumping into just colors, different colors of trees, of birds, of insects. We're just seeing nature being very versatile with her creation. So people who are born with this placement are most likely to be very versatile, obviously, in their presentations, right? Depending on how they present themselves. It could be creatively, it could be in any way they express themselves. They are very versatile with their expressions, né? And they can be perceived as superficial, right? Because of their, I guess, inconsistency of how they present themselves. So they can be perceived as fake or superficial. And then we enter summertime. Then we enter Cancer season. This is the peak of the sun. The sun is at its peak right now. So giving us just nourishment and abundance in supply of food, supply of just energy as a whole, supply in vitamins. And this is the energy principle of nourishment, right? So people who are born with this placement, people who are born with the Cancer placement are most likely to be the best caregivers. They are the nourishers of the families or the communities, right? They are the healers. They are literally the mother of the zodiac or the mother of the sign. Now we are in Leo season, right? This is the maturity of the fertilized seeds. This is when now nature is in her final form of everything she could be or everything that she is, right? She's in her final form, in her provision, her abundance, beauty, and everything that she is, right? So this is the moment or the time where we are just in awe of existence and in awe of just life as a whole, right? So people who are born with this placement, people who are born in the season, are most likely to be very confident, very self-assured, very inspiring. They are literally the bad bitches of the sign. They command just attention when they walk in the room. They're very assured with themselves. They're very confident with themselves. And then we close summer season with Virgo, with the energy principle of Virgo. Now, this is a time where we utilize everything that we have grown. This is the harvest season, a season of vegetation. So people who are born in the season of Virgo, or who are born with the placement of Virgo, are most likely to be very careful with everything that they do. They're very analytical, and they are like perfectionists, right, in just everything and anything. And then now we are entering autumn season, right? This is now the start of Libra season. This is where now we are trying to adjust to the seasonal changes. We are trying to adjust to the fact that it's getting darker and gloomier. So we are trying to find balance between being active and having the desire to rest, right? So people who are born under this energy principle, or who are born with this placement, have the desire to balance just everything. They have the desire for harmony, and have the desire for communal harmony, communal peace. And then we enter Scorpio season, right? This is when nature goes through transmutation and death. So people who are born with this placement, or who have this energy principle of Scorpio, the energy principle of death and transformation, they are disconnected from the thought of attachment, right? They are disconnected from anything that has to do with long-lasting commitment, right? That's why they can be perceived as people who lack commitment, right? They are just really disconnected from attachment as a whole. And then we enter the final cycle of autumn season, which is Sagittarius season. This is the energy principle of purification and purging. So this is the time where our bodies are naturally detoxing, and they are cleansing themselves, cleansing out the impurities within our bodies, sometimes resulting into flu, burnouts, just deep winter sleeps, and just no gula during the season, right? So people who are born in the season, or who are born with this placement, are most likely, they have the desire to cultivate their inner world. They have the desire to self-preserve, right? To really gain energy internally, or to preserve their energy internally. So you can't really mess with their peace like that. They have just boundaries in terms of just internal access, internal access, and they are also one of the best healers. And now we enter Capricorn season. This is the time where we are in the pits of hell. This is the darkest times on earth. The sun is at its lowest. So this is the time of deep winter sleeps. There's a feeling of being limited, and there's stagnancy, and just resistance as a whole, right? Capricorn placements, they are most likely to be perceived as closed off, as they also prioritize self-perseverance, because they have the energy principle of stagnancy and limitations. They have to kind of learn how to thug it out, essentially, right? So because of they learn how to thug it out, and they thug it out for sure, they can also be perceived as insensitive sometimes, because they have mastered how to just move within the limitations of life or within the stagnancy of life. So still in winter, now entering the dusty times of winter, Aquarius season. So this is when we are trying to kind of reorganize our lives back again after the deep winter sleep nights. This is when we are trying to bounce back and reorganize just our lives essentially. So people who are born in this placement are most likely, they have the desire to reorganize things back to their original conditions. Remember what I said about New Age spirituality? I expand on Aquarius on that video, but Aquarius placements they have the desire to reorganize conditions to their original states. And then we close off this whole chat with the last cycle of winter, which is Pisces season. This is now the energy principle of gestation and also healing. This is now when we see a little bit of sunlight, a little bit of just heat nyana, as the sun is preparing to return to the southern hemisphere. Now we are experiencing a natural urge to self-heal, a natural urge to work out. Our appetite is decreased, a natural urge to eat healthy, and just a nurturing energy principle too, right? So people who are born during this season or who have this placement are nurturers and healers and also vulnerable placements. And that's it. I didn't want to drag this video, so I didn't do much justice to the signs. Damn, this was more dragging than I thought. Bruh. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope we emphasize the importance of deconstructing astrology, because I think that because it has been associated with the spiritual community, people tend to side-eye it or demonize it or mock it, when it can literally be a tool for so many things, like a tool for just self-development and self-understanding, and even understanding of the people that are around you, so that you are not really frustrated with the people that you love or frustrated with just people essentially, but you kind of have an understanding okay, because they have this placement, they are most likely to deal with things in this way, and then we take it from there. Also taking into consideration that a person is not only one sign, a person is not only a sign also. They react the way they react, or they do things the way that they do them, in a way that was also influenced by so many other things, so many life experiences, right? Not only astrologically, but I think birth charts can provide just a foundation in how the person is most likely to move or think or process anything or experience life. That's it. Let me vibe. Lots of love, lots of light, and I'll see you on the next video.